Well, we welcome CEO Christian Kanstrup from Evaxion, which just presented their annual report for 2024. And Christian, could you kind of tell us about the key points from the report and your biggest recent achievements?
I'll be happy to, and great to be here and talk to you and have the opportunity of talking about our 2024 annual results, which we just had out. It has truly been an exciting 2024 where we have seen substantial progress across all parts of the business, whether you look at business development, research development, our platform, and financing. So it has really been a lot of significant achievements. If we start out with the business development part, then one notable event in 2024 was, of course, the transformative partnership we entered into with Merck, where Merck entered into an option and licensing agreement around two of our pipeline assets, EVX-B2 and B3. We got 3.2 million upfront last year, and we are set to receive up to 10 million upon potential option exercise in the second half of 2025. And very pleased to see that things are progressing according to plan in terms of the work that needs to be done. So we are on track for that decision point in the second half. From a R&D point of view, we in the fall last year presented strong data on our EVX-01 lead candidate in phase 2 in metastatic melanoma, a personalized cancer vaccine, where we saw a 69% overall response rate, and we saw in 15 out of 16 patients in the trial a reduction in target tumor lesion size. So very strong data, and we are in the second half of this year presenting the 2-year readout of this phase 2 trial. Also, from an R&D point of view, we did present the preclinical proof of concept for a novel precision cancer vaccine concept that we are developing, where we will be selecting the lead candidate in the second half of this year. So very nice progress from a R&D point of view, laying the foundation for our key milestones this year. From a platform point of view, of course, the core of the company, that's our AI immunology platform. There we launched a novel toxin predictor, which enables us to develop even stronger bacterial vaccine candidates. So important to continue developing and maturing our AI immunology platform. Finally, financing, of course, important as well. And here I'm very pleased to tell that we have secured cash into mid-2026 via public offering and other capital markets activities, and also saw Merck, our biggest shareholder, invest for the third time, and now they are holding around 20% of the company. So all in all, I would say busy year, but also a year with significant achievements, creating a very strong entry point going into 2025.
Yeah, and speaking of 2025, I mean, there's so much going on. How will you be building on that substantial progress?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it has created a strong foundation. We have carried that momentum into to 2025, and we already saw us delivering on our first milestone in January this year, where we completed dosing for all patients in the EVX-01 trial. On top of that, we are pursuing a number of milestones, which we see as key value triggers for the year, which are focusing on both R&D, business development, and executing well upon our multi-partner strategy. We are highly focused on our business development goal of getting at least 2 new partnerships signed in 2025. We have the decision on Merck option exercise in the second half. We also have the 2-year readout on our EVX-01 in the second half, and importantly, the selection of the lead candidate for our very novel precision cancer vaccine concept. So nice to see the strong momentum going into the year. Now focus is on execution and get to deliver on these key milestones for the year.
Now, what kind of business development deals should we expect from you? The typical out licensing deal, like the one that you just did with MSD last year?
Well, we are actually pursuing a number of different types of deals. The way we execute upon our strategy is having both a focus on the platform, but also on our pipeline. And you can say the Merck deal That included both a platform element and a pipeline element. And those are the two types of main deals that we're looking at, partnering with pharma biotech around novel targets discovery collaboration based upon our platform, but also be seeking licensing agreements around our existing pipeline assets. And I think it's fair to say that the agreement with Merck is a strong validation of our approach, pursuing both partnerships on the platform, but also bringing our own proprietary candidates into pipeline before we partner them.
And regarding your pipeline assets, how many do you have, and are any of these ready to be partnered out?
We have a broad pipeline. I mean, that's the key feature of the AI immunology platform we have, that we quickly can discover novel targets. We have a multidisciplinary capability set built around it, where we can bring the targets into preclinical and early clinical development. So we have a broad pipeline within cancer and infectious diseases. Our lead asset, as I said, in phase 2 in metastatic melanoma, and a preclinical pipeline. And we have several pipeline candidates which are available for partnering, and also pleased to say that we have a fairly broad pipeline of business development discussions, both around our platform, but also around the pipeline. So that makes me very optimistic around our target of doing at least 2 new business development deals for this year.
So a broad pipeline, but what about your financial results and your cash position?
As I said, we have been completing additional financing early on this year. In January, we raised a public offering of 10.8 million. On top of that, we had some other capital market activities bringing in total $17 million in cash, which means that we now have cash at hand into mid-2026. In the situation where Merck exercises the option in the second half, we get an additional 10 million in, we would have cash going into 2027. So in that sense, we are in a strong position from a cash point of view. And on top of that, of course, the business development activities that we have ongoing also hold the potential to bring in further cash. So I would say having bolstered our balance sheet with these capital market activities in the beginning of the year have put us in a very favorable situation where we can focus on executing upon our strategy.
So if you had to sum it up, how should investors view Evaxion just now?
Well, I think it's fair to say the way I see it, we are fundamentally stronger than we ever have been before. We continue to see our pipeline assets, especially also our lead candidate, deliver strong clinical results. We have the validation from Merck with the option and licensing agreement that we entered into last year. We have Merck as a 20% shareholder. And then importantly, we have cash at hand, bringing us into mid-2026. So fundamentally, we are in a very strong position. From an executional point of view, we saw very strong momentum in 24 that has carried into 2025. So I say we have laid a very solid foundation for executing in 2025 and delivering on our key value triggers. So you should see us as a very important point in time in the Evaxion journey, where we are really starting the process of monetizing on the platform and the pipeline we have, focusing on generating value for the long term.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all the insight today. It sounds like you guys are working from a position of strength. As we pass it off to the viewer, we'd love to know what you think in that comment section, and consider subscribing for news catalysts as it comes down the wire. Of course, we'll bring it to you here. You can check out Evaxion on the NASDAQ under A or EVAX. And of course, we're going to leave the links to the website and everything in the description below as well. But on that, we look forward to catching you in the next one.